と僕を笑顔にしてよ。
Hello and welcome to Armored Controllers. This is Fabs and I am playing some more Kamen Rider Battride War. This time I'm going to be playing as Kamen Rider Kuuga. A very special Kamen Rider, not in the sense that he fights for animal rights or whatever, like an after-school special. No, this guy is the first Kamen Rider after the series' very long hiatus during the 90s. So 2000, new millennium, new Kamen Rider. So he started off the current crop of series, he's been going since then, and so in that case, he's beloved by all. But we'll be talking about his place as a character later. Let's see how he plays. So, as per the series, he has a whole bunch of special forms that give him different abilities. In addition to that, one thing he can do is, as you can see here, you can charge up his regular attacks by holding down the attack button. And what this does is that after you hit a certain number of them, you unlock the rising form for that particular form you're in, which basically means a bit more damage, and plus it's a nice flavourful thing. So here's his basic form, and switch now to Pegasus form, which is the best crowd clearer in the game. So what you can just about see there is a crossbow of sorts, and this weapon is so good. Just the basic attack string is perfect for wiping out entire crowds really quickly. Now it's not quite as hot against individual bosses here. As you can see, there's the Weather Dopant from Double. Pretty cool dude. So what I'm doing now is switch to the Dragon form, which uses the stick there, as you can see. Activated the Rising form, which turns it into a double-ended spear, which is pretty cool. Now, one thing that does happen with this form, because, like in the show, this form does have a lot lower defense than the other forms, to emphasise the fact it's meant to be a quick hit kind of thing, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of thought going into how each form, how each form plays, and how it's represented in the game, which is really quite something. So one thing I didn't mention when I was using Pegasus form here, if you look carefully, the health bar is in fact dropping very slowly, but the fact is it's still happening, to represent the fact that as part of this form, Kuuga's senses are enhanced incredibly, so he can see really far, he can hear really well, but of course this obviously is a bit of a strain in the old noggin, so they represent it in that fashion, which is pretty nice. And so I finally switched to the sword form. I've forgotten its official name, possibly because, to be honest, it's not very good. Now, this is the tank of the forms, designed for walking through damage, ridiculously slow. I'm not a fan of it personally. I mean, yeah, it does quite a bit of damage. It's also really difficult, I find at least, to get the rising form to connect, with the charge attacks even to connect, to unlock rising form, because there's no flow to the attacks, and while I suppose it is technically more damaging, it's very difficult to get a decent combo going, and I don't know, it's not as much fun to play as it compared with, say, Dragon form here, or now we go to Amazing Mighty form. I think it's Amazing Mighty form. Yeah, which is Kuuga's own ultimate form. As you can see, you've got power of pyrokinesis. But other than that, actually it fights exactly the same as the basic form, the rising form, which is quite something. I mean, there's a reason for that to do with the plot. I'll explain that in the second half of this video. So here we go, good old rider kick. And that's L of the Water from Kamen Rider Agato taken out. So this level here really is a bit of a villain all-stars really, isn't it? Going around, have to go fight the, go to the various fields and take out whichever boss is kicking about there. That's pretty neat. So it's always good to have a varied number of bad guys to be fighting. Okay, so what makes Kuuga so special then, aside from the fact that, you know, it was the first one of the millennium? Well, as a series, it's very well regarded amongst the fandom. You'll find that often people want to recommend you a show, they will say Kuuga. They will add the caveats that it is as slow as molasses. It's a very slow moving show, and to be honest I think that works really well for it because it has a huge cast of side characters. You know, not necessarily fighty type people, just, you know, scientists and whatnot. It's got the incredible bromance between Gokai Yusuke, who is the civilian identity of Kuuga, and Ichijo, his police aide-de-camp. Now see, actually what is unusual about this show, maybe not so much compared to older shows, but for the most part in Kamen Rider there's only one rider in this. The only rider is Kuuga. There's no secondary riders, and yeah, the closest thing we have to a second rider is the policeman helper, which is it's unique these days. And it does present a different dynamic, because you have the initial antagonism between Kuuga and the policeman, because, you know, as is the case with Kamen Rider, he is powered by a same thing that creates the bad guys, so, you know, everyone's a bit, okay, this is a bit awkward. But no, eventually, with the help of Ichijo, they kind of helps out the police, and also, they become competent. For once, the police help out, you know, non-powered people help fighting the monsters, and, you know, they get a few kills to name as well, thanks to crazy science, you know, nerve bullets and whatnot. It's quite something. Okay, so the bad guy I'm fighting now is Endagubazeva. I think that's the name. It's all very strange and confusing. So this guy in particular is interesting because he is the final boss, if you will, of Kuuga. Very important. Again, I will talk more about him when I get to the second half of this video. Okay, so Kuuga as a whole, what it's about is main character, archaeologist Godai Yusuke. He finds a crazy belt located in some ruins, but at the same time a bunch of evil bad guys are being released, and yeah, this belt is part of an ancient weapon from an ancient civilization, the Linto, as they were called, and it allows him to transform into their mighty warrior, who first came about to fight the Grongi, who are the monsters that came out. And the series is basically the tensions between Godai Yusuke fighting off all the Grongi while trying to figure out what the heck they're doing, because they have, throughout the series they speak their own unsubtitled language, which is, you know, dark and completely nonsensical, and so you don't even know at the best of times what they're up to. So there's an ongoing mystery throughout, you know, what are these guys, why are they killing people, and yeah, they're killing people. It's interesting to watch this show as well. You're fully aware it's a kids show, like all Kamen Riders are, let's not kid ourselves here. So how come we're seeing people getting eviscerated left, right and centre? You know, that guy's just got blowed up, there's blood everywhere, they're openly talking about death. Even in recent series, you know, I mean, the less said about Wizards for this the better, but you don't get the same level of death and destruction. I mean, I'm not going to be as ridiculous, as over the top, to claim myself, you know, mature show for mature people, because that's just daft. No, it's a kids show. I'm willing to admit that. But there's a lot more maturity in the sense that, I mean, it's a very talky show. There's a lot of character work, really. There's far less actually, you know, suit fighting than compared to other series. While there is obviously comedy, I mean, Godai Yusuke is a funny chap with his thumbs up and his constant smiling. There's a lot less of the lol, wacky, so random humour which is so prevalent in the series at the moment. Fingers crossed Gaim will stop that. But yeah, I really don't understand how on earth it won over the kids personally, but so yeah, no, if you get a chance I would recommend watching Kamen Rider Kuuga. It has been fully subtitled by the fine fellows of Midnight Crew fan subs, look them up, you should be able to get a torrent off of them for the entire series. Okay, so that is a level of Kamen Rider Kuuga. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do another level with this guy, but instead this is one of the storyline ones, which are very explicitly based on instances from the series when you're unlocking the character. So in this case, this is a conflation of the final 2 episodes of Kamen Rider Kuuga. You see, what happens is, episode 47, well, I should say, end of episode 46, everything's hunky-dory, you know, unlocks a new form, you know, he's stronger. Yeah, you know, Grongi, you're not going to do anything. Episode 47 happens. Begins in media res. Everything is on fire. And this isn't me being hyperbolic, everything is on fire. All you can hear is this, you know, creepy bastard here. He hears unsettling girly laughter. Godai Yusuke, Kuuga, completely, you know, banged up. Completely helpless, as you can see here. All my damage is doing nothing. And you're left, you know, going, what the Christ? This is, I think, this is really well represented in this level. Because as you can see here, this is, I suppose, like the initial fight. Everything I do is completely ineffective to this guy. As you can see here. So, God, isn't this is just creepy. Basically seeing everything on fire, yourself included. And then this mockery. Now see, that line in particular is a massive middle finger. Because one of Kuuga's things is that he protects everyone's smiles, as he says. That's why he wants nobody to have a frown. He wants everyone smiling. And one of the themes of the series is he is consistently giving up more and more of himself, of his happy-go-lucky personality, just to get the power to fight off the Grongi. He's sacrificing himself for everyone else. And I know I'm gushing a bit, yeah, why not? But it's really powerful, resonant theme. I mean, look here. He is just exactly the same thing that his arch nemesis there has done. This is some Joseph Campbell level heroic writing. The mirror image of such like. It's really quite impressive. So here we go. I admit I did this little walk deliberately there, just because, you know, the unflinching badass walk. Yeah, let's have some fun. Okay, so as a result of this fight, because it is representing the final battle, there's no need for a super box. I'm locked into Amazing Mighty form here, which is pretty cool. Of course, that does mean that I can't have fun by using the initial flamethrower attack, but this fight isn't meant to be fun. It's meant to be brutal, it's meant to be uncompromising, it's meant to be hardcore. As you can tell, because there's no background music. The only thing we're hearing is the sound of the punching and the suffering. Which, you know, again, just like in the show. Of course, the show goes a bit further by actually having them both break their respective transformation devices, and you end up just 2 people punching each other. It's such a subversion of the usual tokusatsu cliches of, you know, most powerful forms, punch, yay, and such like. Nah. Instead, it's a bloody fist fight. And I mean bloody because there's a reason we're fighting the snow. When they punch each other, you see that snow become red, and it is not pleasant. Ah, there we go. Now see, I don't like how much that final rider kick is missing. It's very annoying. Okay, so yes, that's basically what I think about why I picked this level, because it is a really nice. It's a nice look how the Japanese adapt their material for video games, and I think that's really all I can say about that. Pow! There should be blood here. There should be human as well, but that's another story. All right. Well, this has been Kamen Rider Battride War, my friends. Join me next time.
目覚めろ、その魂。